In the quiet of the morning, the apothecary fed a letter-carrying crow a handful of beans before carefully fastening a message to its back. With a sharp flap of wings, the bird soared into the sky, carrying his words far beyond the forest. "Hold on," the apothecary said gently to Rasser. "I'll be working in the field." Though known as an apothecary, the apothecary also cultivated many of his own ingredients. Living in such a remote place, it saved him both time and precious resources. As he worked the soil, a soft breeze drifted through the trees, carrying the fresh scent of the forest. Rasser inhaled deeply, and suddenly tears welled in her eyes. The smell of home. Silent sobs slipped down her cheeks. The apothecary said nothing, but he noticed. He understood. Not long after, a lively voice broke the calm. "Oji-san!" Moan suddenly appeared, slipping through the door with a bag slung over her shoulder, dressed casually as always. The apothecary greeted her, but she barely paid him any attention. Her curious eyes were already searching the room. She wasn't here for him. She was here for Rasser. "Can I talk to her?" Moan asked eagerly. The apothecary didn't refuse. In fact, he believed it might help. Rasser needed interaction, something to reconnect her with the world. As Moan sat beside Rasser, the apothecary turned back to his work, deep in thought. His earlier concerns about food and her condition led him to a solution: teeth. Using old texts and his own knowledge, he began crafting a set of dentures. He even considered carving boar tusks to replicate what she had lost. "Oji-san," Moan called out again. "Why won't she talk? I've been trying, but she won't answer me." The apothecary paused, then replied thoughtfully, "Maybe she's still searching for a reason to speak." Those words lingered in Moan's mind. Though young, an idea sparked. With a sudden grin, she rushed out. Sometime later, "Oji-san, look!" The apothecary turned and froze for a moment. Rasser looked different. A simple crown rested on her head, giving her a modest yet gentle beauty. It was a small change, but it transformed her presence entirely. With a soft smile, the apothecary said, "You did well. It's very pretty." But Moan's response caught him completely off guard. "She's going to be your wife, right?" "What? No!" The apothecary quickly waved his hands in panic. "I'm just treating her, nothing more." Moan only laughed, clearly amused, before skipping away in a bright, teasing mood. Watching her leave, the apothecary quietly reflected. Moments like these, they mattered. They could help Rasser heal, not just physically, but mentally too. He continued her routine checkup. He refreshed her eyes with drops, replaced the medicinal cloth aiding her scars, and carefully monitored her faint, fragile heartbeat. Then, at last, the dentures were ready, a perfect reconstruction of the teeth she had lost. As he gently fitted them into place, he said, "Try them." A faint smile formed beneath his mask. "Today, we celebrate your new teeth." Later that day, a livestock farmer arrived, handing the apothecary a large cut of meat, far more than expected. The apothecary prepared it carefully. The meat sizzled over the fire, releasing a rich, mouth-watering aroma. He marinated it with fruit extracts to tenderize it further, and sliced it into small, easy-to-chew pieces. Then he offered the first bite to Rasser. The moment she tasted it, her body reacted instantly. Drool spilled from her lips, her ears trembled, and her eyes widened. The apothecary smiled warmly and fed her more, piece by piece. She didn't stop. Even as tears streamed endlessly down her face, she kept eating. It was as if this single moment would stay with her forever. "Being able to eat makes you happy, doesn't it, Rasser?" the apothecary said softly. From that day on, subtle changes began to appear.
Her sensitivity improved. Her appetite grew stronger. There was hope. Perhaps, soon, she could speak. "Today we'll have bacon," the apothecary said one day. But suddenly, Rasser collapsed. A violent cough tore through her body. As blood spilled from her lips, she hit the ground with a dull thud, her body trembling uncontrollably. "Rasser!" The apothecary rushed to her side, panic rising. Something was terribly wrong. Her chest turned red, her breathing became erratic, her body convulsed in painful spasms, her eyes bloodshot. This wasn't an ordinary illness. Poison. The apothecary's expression darkened. Obsidian spider venom. Small creatures, but their toxin was infamous, deadly, precise, and often used in assassinations since ancient times. As Rasser writhed in agony, the truth became clear. This wasn't an accident. It was tied to her past. "Damn it," the apothecary gritted his teeth. "I won't let her die here." Without hesitation, he sprang into action, already preparing the medicine that could mean the difference between life and death.
And that's where this chapter ends. But the story is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next chapter.